San Antonio's Sports Center.
8 players were suspended by the Southland Conference for the brawl between Incarnate Word and Texas A&M Commerce on Monday night. Incarnate Word guard Elijah Davis was handed a 3-game suspension, while Alex Anderson, Gabe Benny Till, and Marcus Glover were each suspended 2 games. Rookie sensation Victor Wembanyama, now a brand ambassador for Louis Vuitton.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge. What's up, Dad? Can't stop me now.
Oh, welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. So glad to be back. Oh, man, had a great vacation. Came back Tuesday, found out there was an Aggie game, so no show, but appreciate everybody for jumping back in with me here on Extra Innings with Pledge, right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. We are also live on our YouTube channel at SA Sports Star if you want to join in the conversation like so many of y'all have, like Goldfinger123. Rudolph, Fred Records, Daniel, appreciate everybody already in the chat. Fred Villarreal, I see you there. Goldfinger even said he's sure I've been blown up with the question of how has my trip. Not going to ask me that. Just glad Extra Innings is back. Let's go. Let's go indeed. And there's a ton to get into. Johnny Manziel speaking today. Dak Prescott resetting the quarterback market. And even what Chicago's going to do with that number 1 pick and Justin Fields. But there is so much that I want to unpack from my vacation because it was awesome. It was a first for me. It was a bucket list thing for me in terms of learning to snowboard. Snowboarding and surfing, 2 things that were kind of lifelong things that I've always wanted to do. Never really done any of them. And so I got the chance to kind of tick one off the box over the past week. Last Thursday, drove up to Ruidoso. It's 9 hours each way. Came back on Monday. So we got up there Thursday night. We're there. We eat. And then we go to, there's a casino up there, an Indian casino. So we go game. I learned how to play craps while I'm there. We go 3 different times to that casino. I won at blackjack, and all 3 times I played craps. The first night I was there, I learned, and I won a couple $100. Second night I was there, I won another couple $100. Then I got down pretty big that third night. Table got hot late, and I ended up rallying to win about 180 that night. So I walked out with about $500 learning to play craps on 3 separate nights. At the casino. So that was really cool. But the real reason of the trip, because I didn't even know there were casinos out there until after we got there and we went to them. Friends were like, let's go. I was like, all right, let's do it. Real reason we went though was 3 days of skiing on the mountain. It was awesome. Couple of my friends skied. I snowboarded because it's a personal bucket list thing that I'd always wanted to do. No lessons, never even tried in my life. Got up, first run, couple falls, made it to the bottom. Apparently I was starting on a green and not the bunny slope, so I tried to learn the hard way. By the 3rd run down, made it all the way down, slowed down, stopped, the whole 9, all on my own. And by the end of the weekend, I graduated to a very difficult green hill and a blue hill. And it was awesome. Truth be told, one of my final 2 runs of the day on Sunday as we were finishing up, I took a pretty bad spill. And in that spill, um, I tweaked something in my back. And so I'm not 100% right now. Forgot sunscreen the first day and the second day because didn't think about it. It's cold. Why would I ever put on sunscreen? But I mean, the sun is still out. It's reflecting off the snow. I got watching on YouTube, face is pretty red. But yeah, it was incredible. I highly recommend Ruidoso. I went to Ski Apache on the mountain up there, and it was absolutely phenomenal. So it was incredible. It was a great time with good friends and learned a couple of new skills, craps and snowboarding that I can kind of add to my arsenal of things. So it was so much fun. Um, I highly recommend anybody that's thought about it, wanted to think about it, wanted to do something like that, wanted to learn to alpine ski or snowboard, go for it. It's incredible. So that being said, welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure. For every Real said, getting big sunburns on the slope. Yeah. Uh, Rudolph Gonzalez, that's why the folks wear zinc oxide like the surfers. That's fair. I didn't think about it in terms of it was cold. What do I need sunscreen for? That's a summer thing. I'm from Texas. You don't think about that thing, especially, and it's not just the sun, it's also the wind. It's a bit of wind burned as well because you're up in the mountains and the wind's really whipping through those things at times. But yeah, it was 50s, 30s. Like it was great weather pattern while we were out there. Gold Figure says, next up, free solo rock climbing. Maybe. I don't know if that's truly on my bucket list, but we'll figure it out as we go along. But one thing that has unfolded here over the last couple of days, um, why the degree of difficulty on the slopes, green, blue. Well, it starts off easy, the bunny slopes, then the green, blue is intermediate, black, and then the double blacks. Those, trust me, you don't want to get stuck on a slope that you have no business on. It is, Fred, it's you can really hurt yourselves um if you're not prepared for them because there's straight down the mountain and then there is progressively just kind of coming down the mountain. And if you're going straight down and you're not very good and you don't know how to stop, you can really, really mess yourself up. One thing I did see, speaking of messing yourself up, as I was at the bar taking a break, one of the slopes, it's one of the crazier slopes that comes like straight down a mountainside, super steep. These guys are going down. They are flying down this hill like downhill skiers. It is crazy. And they get to the bottom, and most people kind of slow up and they come through, and all the traffic's at the bottom. This one kid came flying through the bottom, full speed, still hits this guy. I'm pretty sure shattered his leg. This lady tried to take off his boot. He was screaming in pain. So I'm pretty sure I saw somebody get tobogganed off with a compound fracture of his leg after getting just run through by a guy coming down the slopes. So yeah, uh, dangerous as all get out. And it was kind of like you had your head on a swivel after you saw that. Luckily for me, that was the final day anyway. So it was it was a great trip. And I appreciate all the concerns, thoughts, and everything. But one of the things that has come up today, well, you got a lot to get into, whether it is Dak Prescott, Justin Fields, $60 million. Is Dak worth it? What should they do? CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons. But Kevin Sumlin came under fire today by Johnny Manziel when Shannon Sharp's episode of Club Shay Shay dropped. And I found it very interesting what Johnny A had to say about Kevin Sumlin, and then why he kind of had what he had to say about Kevin Sumlin. We'll get into that next, right here on Extra Innings, 941 FM and SASportsStar.com.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
What was Pop's thinking at the beginning of the year with Jeremy Sohan? What was he trying to do there? What did he think he could do with Sohan?
Well, the idea was to have a big lineup, but it's hard to make a playmaker into a point guard. I remember Hank Egan. I'll never forget what he said. He said, "Only God makes point guard," and he's right. I mean, it's just really difficult to kind of instill that mindset, that way of thinking into somebody who doesn't quite have that.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Asante came to TurboTax after graduating from culinary school and landing a job in the hottest kitchen in town.
My hands are full all day, every day. I love it.
Asante, as your TurboTax expert, I'll make your moves count, guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and your maximum refund. Sound good?
Yes, expert!
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Get to Twin Peaks for their beer-battered fish and chips. This beer-battered cod is served with house-made tartar, malt vinegar, and french fries, and score them along with a 22-ounce Miller Lite or Coors Light for just $12. That's every Friday through Easter. Twin Peaks!
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text ENERGY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text ENERGY to 200-300 right now. Text the word ENERGY to 200-300. Don't wait. Text ENERGY to 200-300.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
94.1.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pleasure. Appreciate everybody for joining me this evening. Goldfinger 1, 2, 3. You got it. It's coming up when we talk Cowboys. Daniel Batista says, rumor is Henry of the Texans is a possibility. Look, we'll get into that in a second, too. I know exactly who the Texans should be seeking when free agency opens. Derrick Henry is not one of those people. I'll let you know why coming up next. But right now, I wanted to talk about Johnny Manziel because he sat down with Shannon Sharpe for 2 hours and 19 minutes, and it was an incredibly captivating interview. And he had a lot of things to say about a lot of different topics, his time at A&M, his time in Cleveland, his time at Kerrville-Tivy, his high school football, Texas Mount Rushmore. All of it just fascinating, incredible things. And I'm not even halfway through this interview yet. But one of the things that he did talk about at length was Kevin Sumlin. And he talked about, looking at him as a coach, but then the coach being hypocritical.
My relationship with Kevin Sumlin was great. He was my dog. He rode for me hard. He went to bat for me. He went to war for me in a multitude of different scenarios. I think where our relationship fell out a little bit is, how do you have a guy who's a grown man who, I look back on this now, reflective in this. How do you have a guy who's a grown man, telling me what I should do? Obviously, my coach, my guy I'm looking up to, my head football coach, is telling me to live a certain way and put all this party and this behind you. But if you know anything about Kevin Sumlin, it's what he's doing behind the scenes.
Oh, he partying too?
So from my eyes,
so you say I'm
it's
just doing what you're doing,
hypocritical.
we partying together.
We're at 40-40 Club in New York.
Oh, yeah.
We in the back room playing pool with Ace of Spades. We're chilling.
Right.
Coach is there. This is what he does. So now looking back at it, it's hypocritical to me. And our relationship is great and will forever be great. And I do not sit here today as a judge of a man, a judge of a person who helped get me to the point of where I wanted to be in life. By no means whatsoever. I'm calling a spade a spade.
Right.
And I'm just going to be and give the God's honest truth as what I know it to be.
Right.
That ruffles some feathers, so be it.
Right.
It's the way the world goes.
I appreciate Johnny Manziel on this podcast because there are a lot of people that think he's salty, and I'll take it as salt because there is something to that. There is something to the hypocrisy of do as I say, not as I do. Even as a kid with your parents, there are a lot of things that, unless explained properly, but when he's actually in the club with you and then preaching to you after the fact, like, I understand where he's coming from when he says things like that. And Manziel talked about more at length on Kevin Sumlin and what went wrong that led to his ultimate demise at Texas A&M.
I think what made Coach Sumlin so great really with him right now, where his focus is. I think life has gotten the better of him a little bit. And I'm a prime example of, and I don't want to sit up here and be a preacher, I don't want to sit up here and tell anybody they're living wrong or anything like that, because that's what it used to feel like me back in the day
when they were
people
trying
were
to
doing
tell
that
Johnny.
to me. So I don't see the same spark. I don't have much of a relationship anymore with him anymore. We'll reach out and talk like here and there, maybe once a year, but not like I have the relationship with my other coaches. And, my gut instinct and feel is, and I know this because of instances that happened when I left.
But the real root of the problem of why he lost who he was and lost what made him great, because, and I believe this in every facet, like, you can be great individually. Michael Jordan can be great individually. Patrick Mahomes can be great individually. Bill Belichick can be great individually. Greg Popovich can be great individually. Kevin Sumlin can be great individually. But that individual greatness means nothing without everything else. And one of the things that I do believe that made Kevin Sumlin so great was what he built around him, his staff. A head coach should not be afraid, I guess to say, of his assistants or his staff. But Kevin Sumlin started to, what the way Johnny tells it on the Club Shay Shay podcast, lose who he was in terms of, I'm great, I don't need you anymore.
I'm leaving to go to the draft, and I'll paint a picture for you. It's 2000, the spring of 2014, December 2013, right in there about December, January. I'm getting ready to make this decision on if I'm going to the NFL draft or I'm going to stay. And I found this out 5 years later from my dad. But my dad went and had a meeting with Kevin Sumlin and pretty much went to him man to man and was like, we'll take $3 million and we'll stay for the next 2 years. And my dad says this is true as today as he did when he told me. He laughed. He did the same thing that he did when Cliff Kingsbury asked him to be the highest paid offensive coordinator the year before. And Cliff would have stayed with me another year and we would have ran it back and gone for another one.
Right.
But he comes to someone, he asks him for X amount. Someone, he had this ego about him that what we built, was all him.
Right.
And then you start that next year, okay? I leave, decide to go to the NFL. This deal doesn't work. Kevin Sumlin kind of blows us off. We can do this without you type of vibe, okay? So the fall comes around, 2014 A&M football season. Kenny Hill is named our starting quarterback. We win our first 5 games of the year. We're 5-0. We're top 10 in the country. I ain't getting no love in the program.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, I remember hearing it, and they talk about Johnny who? Because he had, I think
South
he had
Carolina, 5 touchdowns, first game of the season.
Okay. So you remember hearing it also. So hold on, I want to make sure, I got to backtrack.
Yeah, back it up.
You said your dad went to Kevin Sumlin.
Yep.
And says for $3 million.
We're staying for 2 more.
Now, you do realize this is prior to NIL.
I agree.
This is a backroom deal.
It went on for 30, 40 years before. It was the same way that was happening when you was getting recruited back in the day.
And you guys, and y'all, Texas A&M got money for it. I mean, Texas A&M, nobody got no money like Texas A&M. Y'all got the big dogs.
Aggie ring, baby.
Y'all got the big dogs. And so $3 million, if he had gone to any of the boosters and said, you know what?
Done.
Johnny Dad said he'll stay for an additional 2 years if we just break him off $3 million.
Just keep it in cash, throw it somewhere. We'll get it later. We don't need it right now.
Right.
But for my security, if something happens for 2 years down the road,
right.
And my dad did this without me knowing, and I ain't mad at him about it for
Right.
nothing. It's the way the business worked back then.
Right.
There was a bag man. There was a bag man at LSU. There was a bag man at Bama. There was a bag man at every school around the country if you were competing for a national title. It was what it was. And it was always that way until we're into the NIL portion of everything now, the way it should be.
I was probably of what I've heard so far of this over 2-hour podcast as the show goes on. That was the most poignant thing that he said in terms of Kevin Sumlin bought into his own hype with the swag copter and then landing the 5-star recruits like Kyler Murray and Allen. And he said, I don't need to make Cliff Kingsbury the highest paid offensive coordinator. I don't need to have Johnny Manziel back, who's the one who helped really put A&M on the map in terms of them in the SEC. That was A&M was a middling Big 12 team for the most part. They pop up every few years, but they were 6 to 8 wins per year, right in the middle of the Big 12, middle to the upper tier. And they get to the SEC, and everybody's expecting them to get rolled. And Johnny Football, Mike Evans, Kevin Sumlin, and Cliff Kingsbury helped to change that tide. And when I say he bought into his own swag, and it's going to happen where people, you get patted on the back enough, you probably start to believe it a little bit. So why you hear the great coaches talk about not eating the rat poison, as Nick Saban likes to say. Bill Belichick, great coach when he's got Tom Brady. Greg Popovich, remains to be seen what he can build around Victor Wembanyama, but since the big three have left, things aren't the same. Your greatness, and I believe this in my heart of hearts when it comes to coaches, is your ability to delegate and trust the people around you. Those are great coaches. How they can let the others help them to bring up and put them in a position to excel. And Manziel talked even more about Cliff Kingsbury and what he meant to him, and especially their big win against A&M in his Heisman year.
Cliff Kingsbury put together an unbelievable game plan for us offensively that highlighted our strengths, that kept us from being too vulnerable in a defense like that. And for the first half of that game, they don't know what the fuck is going on. Just unleashing the Cliff Kingsbury creativeness of a football playbook for an air raid. This wasn't old Mike Leach air raid. This wasn't anything that Lincoln was doing wherever. This was just its own subtle thing, or own, particular thing that was tailored to me being able to run the ball the way that I could, as well as having an unbelievable offensive line to be able to handle what they were throwing at us. Luke Jokel, Jake Matthews, Cedric Aboya, these are all first-round picks in the NFL. And some really, really solid players.
Right. Wow. I forgot you guys had that kind of offensive line.
Yep.
So that's why they were able to hold up.
I see what he's saying when he talks about what Cliff Kingsbury meant to the program in terms of helping them turn things around offensively, and then having that line that they had in front of them to allow Cliff to run what he wanted to run offensively, which is part of the reason it probably didn't work out at Texas Tech or in the NFL as well as it did at A&M, because he did have an all-star offensive line. And when you're running the concepts that Cliff wanted to run that was so different when it came to the air raid offense, it really allowed them to take it to another level. This has been Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger, right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Coming up next, we're talking about it earlier. I've heard it all day, whether it was Daniel Bautista here in our comments who says rumor this is a real ability. I'm seeing it in YouTube. I heard it today on the Blitz with Joe Reinigle thinking Derrick Henry would be a great fit in Houston. I'll tell you A, why it's not, and B, who would be the perfect fit next, right here on Extra Innings with Pledge on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas, with plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. It's the San Antonio Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for SA Card House. Over there on San Pedro, you know where it is, 13400 San Pedro right there in Bitters. One of my favorite places to go for a lot of reasons. It's not just about the restaurant and the bar, which is a reason to be. It's not just about the atmosphere and the great games and all the prizes that go along with being a San Antonio Card House member. It's a vibe. It's a thing that you get. Whether you're a brand new player, they have brand new classes for you to get you interested in playing, to teach you how to play the game. They got great membership rates. They've got food to serve at great atmosphere while you're playing, or if you just bring your friends and family to play. But it's an atmosphere of success and fun, and that's why I go to SA Card House, and that's why you need to give them a try. Go check out their website, sacardhouse.com, but you're not going to know until you go. It's a private social club waiting for you to come and play. It's at Bitters in San Pedro. It is my SA Card House. Head there today. Thank me later.
Here at Total Wine & More, you'll find what you love and love what you find.
I like this flavored gin, but want something new.
You will love this one.
Wow. You're good.
Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Pickup and delivery available at TotalWine.com. Drink responsibly. B21.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer Sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax. 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit Revive Men's Health.
LaHood, Steve Allison defends kids. Mark LaHood defends violent criminals. Steve Allison banned drag shows for children. LaHood brags on his own law website about getting sex offenders off the hook. Steve Allison is a lifelong conservative. LaHood voted for liberal Democrats, including Joe Biden, all the way up until 2022. Steve designated Mexican drug cartels as terrorists. LaHood chooses to defend Mexican drug traffickers, putting them back on the streets. Steve Allison empowered police to arrest and deport illegal immigrants. Mark LaHood defended a violent criminal who was caught trying to murder a Border Patrol agent. The NRA, San Antonio Police Officers Association, and the Bexar County Deputy Sheriffs all endorsed Steve Allison. LaHood's campaign is paid for by neo-Nazi affiliates and criminals he's gotten off the hook. Steve Allison is honest and decent. Everything LaHood says about Steve is false. Every word. Now you know the difference.
Political ad paid for by the Steve Allison campaign.
Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportsstar.com. Of course, you can check everything out in the audio vault at sasportsstar.com. Everything is there, or you can go to our YouTube page, search SA Sports Star, subscribe, like, follow along. You can comment along with the show, as many have. Daniel Batista earlier in the comment section said, Derrick Henry, a real possibility, hearing the rumors. And I heard it today earlier as well, both on the Morning Huddle with Rob Thompson and RJ Ochoa, and earlier today on the Blitz, where Joe Henry thinks that Derrick Henry would be a great fit with the Houston Texans. Here's why I think he's not a great fit. I'm going to start with that. Derrick Henry is a downhill runner. He is find the hole and go. That is completely backwards to the Kyle Shanahan zone run system. Arian Foster was really great at it. Devin Singletary was good in it this year. Christian McCaffrey's been great in it. Elijah Mitchell, name different running backs in San Francisco or Denver. It's not always the big name back that succeeds in these systems outside of, say, a Christian McCaffrey, because it is not the hole is going to be here, run really hard where that hole's supposed to open up and get your yardage. It is about feeling where the hole is going to open up and making the cut back across to it. It is a jump cut to the hole could be here or here. It's depending where the flow ends up. Arian Foster was great at reading and recognizing and making that quick jump cut to the backside, which really opens up those big runs. Derrick Henry's not a jump cut runner in terms of getting back across the formation. It's just not his running style. That's why Dameon Pierce wasn't very good this year when he was so great in his rookie year. He was running in a power system that first season. Power run systems, more the hole's supposed designed to open up here, run real hard, break some tackles, go. That's how it's blocked up. Zone system, completely different style of running back needed for the zone running system, which is why I don't think Derrick Henry is a good fit in Houston, because we've already seen what that style of runner looks like in this system. His name is Dameon Pierce. It did not look good. There's a reason Devin Singletary took over that role midseason and should have. Of the running backs available, Austin Eckler, Josh Jacobs, not a big fan, A.J. Dillon. Tony Pollard, maybe. Austin Eckler, okay, maybe. DeAndre Swift, I could see working. Saquon Barkley's my guy. Because look at what Christian McCaffrey means to that San Francisco offense in terms of running and receiving. Saquon Barkley knows how to jump cut and cut back across the formation when holes open up that he sees. You saw him do that in Penn State. He has that ability. Durability is the concern with Saquon Barkley. That was the concern with Christian McCaffrey when the 49ers gave up everything they did for him. It worked out very well for the San Francisco 49ers. He is arguably the most important piece of that puzzle. Well, you have the most important piece of the puzzle in Houston with C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson, both on rookie deals. This is one of the few times I will advocate on overspending on a running back because Saquon Barkley is a known commodity, much of the same way Christian McCaffrey was a known commodity. I am willing to overpay for him for 3 or 4 years because he is only 26 years old. You can have him until he's 30 and then let him go off and try and find something behind him in the meantime. But his ability to run the football, his ability to see and feel and cut across the formation to find holes, and his ability to split out wide and create a matchup the same way that Christian McCaffrey does just makes it much more dangerous. And imagine C.J. Stroud not having to have the entire weight of the offense on his shoulders the way he had to have it this year. It makes that offense multiple. It makes it extremely more dangerous. And it is exactly what is needed for that style of offense. You can try and find it in the draft. Maybe Jonathan Brooks is it. He's coming off an ACL, so you probably don't get him this year unless it's late in the year. I would draft Saquon, find a way to get out of the contract in the final year or two, let Jonathan Brooks possibly in the second or third round develop into the guy that eventually takes over for him, or maybe another running back like the one from Oregon, and go that route. Because this is the time when you can overpay for a running back and it not be a bad idea because you have your franchise quarterback on a rookie contract for the next 4 years. Same for your top edge rusher. The two most impactful positions, the two most expensive positions at cost control for 4 years. You can afford to make this move. What say you? 656 ESPN 656 3776. Josh called in. Josh, welcome into Extra Innings with pleasure, my man.
Hey, thanks, Pledge. Glad to hear you back. I feel like you got snubbed yesterday, not having a show. We missed you all weekend. But, we're here today, and let's celebrate. Because most likely Derrick Henry probably does become a Texan, and that is the best move for the Texans. Because, as we know, the Texans, yes, they're looking upward, but they do have a lot of holes that they need to fill. There's linebacker. You got to bring back Jonathan Green. Defensive tackle needs that. And I think Derrick Henry comes in as a steal. I think, Nick Caserio loves to shop in the bargain bin. And I think Derrick Henry's in that bargain bin, and he's going to go after him. I would rather overpay for players on the defense. I think this draft that they have for offensive receivers, I'd rather try to get an Xavier Worthy out of Texas. That dude's a phenomenal route runner, better in the slot, especially with Tank Dell and Nico Collins having most of their success as outside. You need more of a slot receiver, and then just imagine that tight end from Texas playing with C.J. Stroud. Just be insane. But I think Derrick Henry's the best fit. And also remember, his best years in Tennessee were he didn't run the exact Kyle Shanahan running scheme, but Arthur Smith did run somewhat of a zone running scheme. And that was when he led the league in rushing yards. So he can fulfill that hole here, kind of bridge a gap between when the Texans want to have the next running back that they probably draft in this year's draft to eventually take over. But I think it's just about putting pieces around. And if you get a cheaper running back, that means you can spend more maybe on a Jalen Johnson or someone to take over at the other safety position with Jalen Petrie, or bring in Justin Madubuike and maybe an extra offensive lineman, defensive lineman. But I think this is the perfect move for him. You get a cheaper running back. You don't – I mean, Saquon Barkley would take this offense to another level, but if Saquon Barkley gets injured, where are you going from there? Then you have to rely on Dameon Pierce. Plus, let's say Derrick Henry is not that guy. They can still re-sign Devin Singletary, who I hope still gets re-signed by the Texans because he was a phenomenal.
I hope he gets re-signed too, man. I hope they trade Dameon Pierce. Fit the system.
No, he's not. I hope he gets traded. Love the guy. I think he's an amazing person. But hey, he just doesn't fit in this system. You know, Dallas, y'all run something like this. You know, here you go. Here, give us a fourth or a fifth. We'll take. You can have him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just one of those. I think he's a great guy, good running back, but he just doesn't fit in the system. And I think if they trade him, that'll be good. But to be honest, the Derrick Henry shopping in the bargain bin, that's probably the best bet. I wouldn't even mind a DeAndre Swift coming in, see what he could do, because that boy can run. And, you know, he's a Georgia Bulldog, so you know he's a great running back in the NFL. So that's all they produce. But, yeah, man, I think it's going to look up. I think it's the best move to have. Just get shopping that bargain bin. Let them spend more on defense, build up a stronger defense for C.J. Stroud, so that defense isn't letting them down late in games or letting them down at all in games. And he can kind of just keep being explosive like he is. So, and again, like Texans are in the perfect position. You have the two positions on the NFL team that are going to grant the highest contract in an edge rusher and a quarterback. And those are your two top players, and they're on rookie deals. So you need to just take advantage of it and try to go get all the players you can. And just imagine all the people they need to re-sign also. It's just a lot, and it's just crazy. So Nick's got a lot of work, but I have faith in Nick.
Appreciate the phone call there, Josh. Yeah, like I said, you know, there's a lot with this team that's going to need to get figured out, but the one time you can't overspend is this time. And I'm not afraid to. You can get one of each. You can get one on each side of the ball and address the rest in the draft. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. We're going to put a bow on the show and talk about Dak and his possible market-setting contract as we get set to ride off into the sunset. That's all coming up next here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose. Mommy. That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
This is business analyst Jill Schlesinger. In today's world, it seems the best treatment is reserved only for a few. Well, Discover wants to change that by making everyone feel special. That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 live customer service as well as $0 fraud liability, which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Finally, no matter who you are or where you are in your life, you'll feel special with Discover. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free. explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-952-1155. That's 800-952-1155.
Did you know that nearly 75% of people say family is their top priority, but only 50% have life insurance? It's not too late to give your loved ones a gift they can count on this month with coverage through SelectQuote. When my husband and I went to SelectQuote.com, we had quotes from multiple carriers in minutes. Then, an experienced licensed insurance agent helped us find the right coverage for our budget. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Show your love this month by protecting your family's future. Some policies are less than $1 a day.
Call SelectQuote at 1-6262 or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-6262. 1-800-280-6262. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
Sick and tired of achy joints? Dread the idea of surgery? You need to call QC Kinetics today. Hey, it's James Spudger with San Antonio Sports Star. Listen, the state of healthcare is always changing. The old ideas like steroids and surgery are no longer your only options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative and non-surgical drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. Knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, pain from arthritis or injury. Don't let this pain keep you from living your best life. QC Kinetics' advanced state-of-the-art treatments harness and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. This is a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with no downtime. Make 2024 the year you reclaim your mobility, reclaim your independence, walk, run, play, and live without the danger and trauma of surgery and without harmful drugs. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more select OSB sheathing. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Visit us for the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
Tax day is coming.
Oh, no.
But if you sign up for Robinhood Gold's IRA with a 3% match, you can get up to $195 for the 2023 tax year.
Oh, yeah.
Sign up at Robinhood.com/boost by tax day to get the biggest contribution match on the market. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Robinhood Financial, LLC, member SIPC.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pleasure. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, X, everything, TikTok, at I am Pleasure. You can follow the station at SA Sports Star. Appreciate it by following along. Look, in case you've been under a rock, Dak Prescott could possibly make $60 million. And as soon as the last quarterback contract came in last year, which was Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow, getting upwards of 57, 58 million per year, you knew the next in line was bound to top that. Dak Prescott happens to be the next person in line. So it does not shock me the fact that there is the possibility that he is going to end up setting all kinds of crazy quarterback records. It is what it is. It's the state that the Cowboys are in. And if they want to free up money for free agency, this is something they are going to have to do. Or they have to make the decision that this year is going to be what it is, and he's going to prove it, along with Mike McCarthy, together, that they can get over the hump. And if not, we're moving on from both of you at the end of the year. That is just very, very, very unlikely. And I would expect that Jerry Jones and the Cowboys will start to open up money. The question is, who are the odd men out? I think one of them could be Tyler Biotish, which means you're looking for more offensive line help this offseason. We'll discuss more tomorrow on Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM and sasportstar.com.
Urgent Camp Lejeune settlement message. On September 6th, the government announced it will soon begin providing fast, guaranteed settlements to Camp Lejeune Marines, families, and civilians. Awards will range between $100,000 and $550,000, with an option for higher amounts. If you or a loved one spent time at Camp Lejeune and suffered cancers of the